Okay. This is gonna be a zero gameplay footage, quick guide for I think it's a niche build maybe. It is the Ephemeral Edge Trickster for Molten Strike. I've been streaming for the last, ever since League start, and I really wanted to farm Valdos in this league again. And I think some people said they were surprised that you could do Valdos with, not mirror tier gear. And no, you don't need mirror tier gear to do Valdos maps, but it all depends on what you mean by do a Valdos map. You mean the hardest stuff, or the mid stuff, or the easy stuff? Because the difficulty ranges from super easy to super hard. This one can do like up to pretty hard, I would say, but it'll never do like, well, I don't know about never. I think it could, but you're gonna need like really expensive items to do the ultimate level. And to be honest, why do you even want to bother, right? Because anyway, enough about that. I do a quick guide here, no gameplay because it's too much effort, and if you need gameplay footage to sell you on a build, I think this is the wrong place. If you want to just chill, kill mobs in T16, 17s, loot some shit on the ground, juice maps, that kind of thing, yeah, this is not a good build for that. But it is super tanky. The Trickster is super tanky. Even though they nerfed Escape Artist, they nerfed Ephemeral Edge, it's not enough really to put it into like the ground. If you like Splitting Steel, one guy who contacted me said he was a fan of Splitting Steel, and so am I. That was my favorite skill for 3 leagues, and they gutted it now because it doesn't return your projectiles, meaning you can't use it for a single target. It is a dead skill. But you can just sub in Molten Strike. It is not the same. Molten Strike is a strike skill. It kind of has different things about it, but overall, it's kind of the same thing. It's got better single target, worse clear, and if you don't put in multi-strike like everyone tells you to do, it actually feels pretty good to use. Okay, so I'll just go quickly. People have asked a few questions. I'll just answer them right here. What does a build cost, right? So I tallied it up here. Right now, the total cost is about 350 div, give or take. Most of it's in the Mage Blood. More than half is in the Mage Blood. And the Nimbus, if you take those out, that's pretty cheap, right? And I have like some gear that you really don't have to spend that much on. So I go through the gear one by one, maybe open here, although I can't see. The Ephemeral Edge, yeah, I mean, you can't run this build without the weapon. It was nerfed. The bottom line, 15% of players' maximum energy shield used to be 20 unconditionally. Now it goes from 10 to 15. Hold on a second, let me change the music because it's a bit too loud. Where's my music player? No, wait a second. I'm not retaking this. Wait, track? No shuffle. Back to my favorite track. Where was it? This one. Okay, so EE, right. Resolute Technique, people don't get hung up on it. Having a Resolute Technique corrupt makes it very expensive. Very. There's two. The top priority first, I would say, is to get the 15 roll. From 10 to 15 is a massive difference. So target 14, 15. I was using 13 Resolute Technique until now. So I was farming pretty hard Valdos with a 13 Resolute Technique. If you don't have to get so min-maxy about it, I'd settle for a 13 Resolute. Okay, if not, go for a 15 non-Resolute. It's really cheap. You just have to have some accuracy. Honestly, Resolute Technique is just a ignore a mod affix that also saves you passive points because you don't need accuracy on your build. This build overall is kind of what I call a mod neutralizer build, meaning you don't worry about mods in Valdos, and also this goes for T17s and whatever, so it is actually a very good juiced farmer. It doesn't really do T17 5 risk 100% deli like the boss can be really hard, but it can do T16 5 risk. You can do T17 3 risk. It might be a little dicey. It depends on your ES pool, but it really ignores all mods, and you can just check some of the previous stream footage. You know, does that look tanky to you? Anyway, so that's the Ephemeral Edge. The one I have here cost me a whopping 36 divines. Yeah, it's expensive. What makes it expensive is the bottom roll has to be 15. It used to be that was not a roll, it was 20. So all you had to do was land a corrupt. This used to be a very cheap item, but now it's expensive. I run Aegis Aurora. If you have Mage Blood, the 5 maximum cold resistance on this one makes it nice to cap 90 all res. I paid 2 divines, 2.6 divines on League start. Now it's dirt cheap. People don't like this item. I don't know, they like it, don't like it. It's not really popular. I like it because it's a unique. I like uniques because uniques make it simple. You just find one, you know, you can get a shiny. The important line here though is, you know, you recover 2% of armor when you block. This build, I spec it for block, spell block, and attack block. So when you get hit, you don't, you know, you recover energy shield. This is really important. Without this, you lose 1 layer of defense. This also lets you AFK in maps. You just stand and don't die. Check the footage if you want to know what that's like. So yeah, this is a very cheap item. And then, you know, your regular ES gear, necrotic armor. You want high evasion, energy shield, yada yada yada. This one's 5D. I've been using this for like almost since the beginning. Might be more expensive, I don't know. If you want a really good one, you should look for one that has, I'm not quite sure, but there's a mod called 50% increased global defenses. This can push the ES really high, but it's up to you if you want to spend that many divines. I mean, if you have too many divines, why not, right? But yeah, I mean, you get 3, it's good enough, right? For the implicits, I think physical as chaos is best. And yeah, I mean, look, for the implicits, everyone's got their own preference. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're an int stacker, you want less damage per int. There's variation on the build, but you know, I won't talk about the implicits unless it's important, okay? You can think about it yourself. Yeah, you know, an ES helmet. This is really important. The body armor and helm contribute the most to your ES, if you didn't know that. Because you get double the value from the tree. There's energy shield mastery on the tree up here. Here, yeah? 100% increase from equip helmet. So the helmet and body are your biggest sources of ES usually, followed by, of course, gloves and boots, right? Okay, gloves. You know, same story. Target, resistances, intelligence are the suffixes, high energy shield. The important difference between Splitting Steel and Molten Strike is, with Molten Strike being a strike, you can use this implicit called non-veiled strike skills target 2 additional nearby enemies. This is strong. I didn't have this for a while. Clear was horrible, and then you put this on and clear is great. It is a funky little mechanic where it makes your strike kind of ranged. Like without this, if you don't have any of this, it's a pain to land your strikes. I didn't know this. 1 is good enough. But if you want, you know, get GG gear and shit, go for 2. 2 is hard to craft. You can just look it up how to do this. It's expensive. It costs about 1 or 2 div of rolling, usually, I think. Yeah, boots, same thing. Boots are the least important. Okay, Nimbus is really good because it almost doubles your damage with Molten Strike. The projectiles return, doing full damage. You don't need a support on your gem setup. If you don't want to buy Nimbus for whatever reason, you can also use the new Shrapnel Specialist, Forbidden Flesh and Flame. But why would you? You lose 2 jewel slots. It's half the damage bonus. I mean, is there a better ring? I don't know. So, Nimbus. It's so cheap this league. Big advantage. So to offset the cost of Ephemeral Edge, Nimbus is dirt cheap as no one really needs it. I use Charbon's Revelation. It's a big ES boost. That's it. If you don't like this ring, you can use a curse setup with Anathema. I don't know. If you use the in-stack, you want an in-stack ring. I use Voice of the Storm. I know there's Perkle's Toe, but I don't like to rely on my Merc. He will die in Valdo's maps. If you guys know a way to make him survive, feared, all clumped up together, let me know. Some guy told me spam the heal. I tried. It doesn't work every time. If you have lucky damage on him, giving it to you, and he goes down, oh boy. So this is a dirt cheap amulet, usually 4 divines in regular leagues, 3 divines. Now it's only like, I don't know, 10C. It's dirt cheap. Let me see. Dirt cheap, 15C, okay? No one wants it now. So this, you're saving a lot for this build from the Nimbus and the Voice, right? So you can just get these like Mage Blood. Yeah, you probably have one, right? If you're gonna swap, right? I hope. You don't. If you don't have this belt, what is the problem? The problem will be, I've ordered them in terms of, you know, importance from left to right. You can go with the 2, 3, 4. The 2 flasks I recommend at the beginning hold on, are going to be Silver Flask for movement speed, attack speed, and stun avoidance. Oh boy, that's great. Okay, I'll tell you why later. And then a Sapphire Flask that boosts your cold resist and max resist and gives you additional resist. When you have this flask for plus, I think 9 max cold res, Aegis Aurora for plus 5, then you can try to go for a melding of the flesh setup. You can look at how this works. You can get 90 all res very easily. And I don't know what you think about 90 all res. 90 all res is how you survive and never take damage. Like, whenever you have a minus, the one mod I will think is really scary in any map is minus maximum res, because then this starts to fluctuate a lot in a map. When there's no such thing and you have 90 all res and you're not fighting like a crazy thing like feared, your ES never moves. You don't take damage. It's like you never take damage. So don't tell you, like, you know, 90 all res priority. Mage Blood helps. You can get creative and get it in other ways. I don't care for that. I just say get the belt, easy 90 all res with Aegis Aurora. There's another setup with the shield, a regular ES shield for an in-stack version. You go for lightning res. There is actually a great how do I say model for this. His name is Jisoon, Jisoon. You can look him up on PoE Ninja if you want. He has mirror tier gear, and his setup is you go for max lightning res. Okay, and the cheaper version, I think you go for maximum cold res, is way more affordable and easy. It'll get you 90 all res with 2 flask Mage Blood. Not easily, but fairly easily. You need a lot of resist on your gear. And then if you have more flasks, then Bismuth will just easily overcap your res. I went for reduced effective curses. The goal in this build is to negate mods. You run in fearless into maps. I mean, as fearless as you can, because that's how you win a Valdo's map. And of course, Quicksilver. This is not to go fast per se, but because there are mods in Valdo's that reduce your move speed. If you don't have this flask, you will go too slow and you can't dodge anything, and it helps a lot. If you can't move in Valdo's and they let you use travel skills, you use Leap Slam as a substitute. But there are a lot of Valdos that have reduced move speed and prevent your movement skills being used. The only solution for that is to have a Mage Blood. I can't see anything else right now. Okay. And okay, a Tincture, Prismatic Tincture for a lightning build is super crazy. You can POB this. If the enemy if you're not using the Doriani setup for your Merc, this is huge. This will give you double damage. Just activating alone. It won't say double damage here, but it's more than double damage. It's like double damage. I mean, for pushing one button. You can be starved for damage at certain times. A double damage one button press is very worth it to me. And all the top tier like builds will use a Prismatic Tincture. And this costs about 1 divine, 2 divines. It's hard to roll this exact combination. That's the gear. Okay, so back to the text. What else is there? Okay, so I read the priority to swap to do Valdo's farming. I think you need at least 8k ES, maybe 9k. Then you want to target 90 all res. you should have a Nimbus for the damage bonus, then Cluster Jewels, and I think you don't want to really start on Valdos too much until you get to 100 because you'll be missing so much player power. If you fail a Valdos map, it's going to cost you money. It's better to get to 100 first. I would, yeah. And I suggest a 5-man carry. I don't know, people have issues with this. I don't know. I don't have any issues with it. You know, I discovered this league, it's free. If you just level some jewels while you do it, it's free. So do that first. And for leveling, people ask how to level this. Okay, if you want to ask me how to level it, I don't really know the best way. I think that's a very disturbing question because if you want to know how to level, look to some better people who level all the time. I recommend this guy, Jungron, how I play the gauntlet, because he's telling you how he would beat an hardcore race with a shadow. So I'm going to take this information here as very valid, right? So just follow someone else's guide on how to level a shadow. But there is a question about when to switch. Like, when can you swap to Molten Strike Ephemeral Edge? I would say, I did it too early and I regret it. I would say if you do like Explosive Concoction, you stay that way until you have 8k ES, an Ephemeral Edge, a good Necrotic Armor, Aegis Aurora. You know, you have like about 9k ES total, 9k, then maybe, you know? Otherwise you stick to like more leveling type of builds. So about 9k ES is what I would target. And regarding how you do Valdo's maps, that will be another guide because there's too much information. There's some, if you want to know more, you can watch me stream. I stream every day. And I get grumpy sometimes about the maps, but overall I have a great time doing Valdo's maps. It's my favorite farm in Path of Exile 1. I don't know if I'd even play so much if it wasn't for this kind of farm. It is not reliant on RNG at all. I realize why I like it so much is because you are not at the mercy of RNG. You can't have a bad luck league doing Valdos. You just can't. I got no lucky drops, I feel, this league. But I don't care because I know it doesn't matter. You know, once you get things set up, you are gonna get some currency here and there. And once you get the ball rolling, start doing the Valdos maps, you can't lose is the point. You won't win big, but you can't lose. And you can start winning big when you get a really good build going because you can do the high risk Valdos maps that have 20, 30 divine margins at times, but this will depend on how the league progresses and stuff. So that's about it. If you have questions, you can, I don't know, watch the stream. I don't look at the chat. Ping me in the game. I can answer questions, but you know, if the question is too simple, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, so that's about it, and that's it for